Greetings, we are from Prabhakar Burke Clinic and today we are going to welcome our dietitian madam, and I will just request her to give a few introductory words about herself and what exactly is her work schedule as such.
Hi, I'm Vidya Shah. I am a dietitian, clinical dietitian and a diabetes educator specializing in type 1 diabetes, but I also look after all the patients with medical conditions and help them live a better life.
So my first question would be to you that since you are talking about a healthy life, we will talk about the unhealthy sick patients first. And whenever a person is admitted into a hospital, the commonest thing which is brought to a patient in India is Mossambi juice and coconut water. So
Yes.
what are your views about that?
Well, I would actually request people to not do that. The moment you're getting in Mossambi juice and Nariyal Pani to the patient, it is not knowing what their medical conditions are. And any which ways, fruit juices are not a very healthy choice. Okay, the moment you're taking a fruit juice, it's not having fiber, hardly has any vitamins, minerals left in it. And if it's packaged, it's again with added sugars. The moment you're ingesting it, your sugar level spikes. In an hospital setting where you're undergoing a procedure, you recovering, and you have irregular peaks in your blood glucose levels, and specifically a rise in the blood glucose levels, it's not allowing you to recover well. In fact, it's delaying the recovery process. Plus, you don't know what the conditions are. There could be times where you don't want high potassium foods for the patients. Then including Nariyal Pani, fruit juices like sweet lime is not recommended. I would in fact recommend you all to take whole fruits and give it to them, which they can eat between their meals along with some nuts for better absorption of vitamins like vitamin A, D, E, K. And the blend of that will make sure that the effectivity of the fruit is there for helping the patients out. Okay, so then you make sure that from now you try giving them fruits instead the juices or coconut water. At the same time, if you want to understand what type of fruits you can take for them, the safest and the best are GAP3 fruits, which is guava, apple, pear, pineapple and peru. The moment these are the safest fruit, irrespective of the conditions they're going through, giving them these fruits and advising them to take it in the mid morning or in the evening, not with the breakfast, lunch, dinner or immediately after breakfast, lunch, dinner, will help them benefit from the fruit for sure.
Okay.
Yes.
So now the person is discharged and he has gone home. So then the next thing which the households, Indian households do is to give the patient dry fruits. So what are your views on dry fruits in a recovering patient at home?
Yes, so dry fruits, we need to get the concept clear of dried fruits first.
So there are types of dried fruits?
Well, the way we Indians take dried fruits are is in a different manner than how we actually say it. Then how
Scientific term.
What are the scientific terms? So dried fruits here, if I tell you कि क्या है, तो आप बोलोगे खजूर है, अंजीर है.
That big Diwali box which
Yes,
we get.
Big, you get kishmish also, you get almonds also, you get walnuts also there.
Yes.
तो वो ड्राइड फ्रूट्स नहीं है. ड्राइड फ्रूट्स मतलब सिंपल है, जो भी फ्रूट को हमने ड्राई किया है वो ड्राइड फ्रूट्स है.
Okay.
तो जब मैं अखरोट, बादाम, पिस्ता की बात करती हूँ तो वो नट्स होते हैं, वो ड्राइड फ्रूट्स नहीं है.
Okay.
सो ड्राइड फ्रूट्स आर खजूर, अंजीर, किशमिश, कीवीज आती है, डिहाइड्रेटेड मैंगो आते हैं, ऑरेंजेस आते हैं. दीज आर ड्राइड फ्रूट्स. नाउ ड्राइड फ्रूट्स, द प्रोसेस ऑफ ड्राइड फ्रूट्स आर ड्राइंग the fruits. So then the sugar content in it is more concentrated and also the water is gone. Plus the process of making sure that the dried fruits are staying for the longer period of time includes a lot of sugar in it.
Okay.
Because
the processing
it acts,
part.
Yes, because it acts like a preservative. It's a natural preservative. Okay, and therefore the dry fruits are made. Some amount for energy, dry fruits are good. But if the patient is obese or may not need so much of energy, limiting the dry fruits is what is recommended. What type of dry fruits are good for them or not will be advised by the dietitian. So you please go and meet them because they're always personalized. But nuts again at the same time are very good for them. So having a handful of nuts every day is recommended. You can mix the nuts at the same time and take them. Also again, because they're very calorie dense, make sure you don't take it with the breakfast, lunch, dinner immediately after that. Always space it out, and the best is to eat it with a fruit because the fats from that will help the absorption of vitamins, the fat soluble vitamins from the fruit. So the purpose of eating a fruit is also fulfilled because there's major availability of the vitamins to the body. Plus, if there's a sugar spike or the sugars are rising, the fats from the nuts will make sure that they're not peaking up too fast and it's more gradually released in the body. So there are no major blood glucose spikes in the body.
Okay.
So this is in fact being more beneficial for them to have it in that combination. It's the fruit and the nuts combination, but not the dried fruits and the nuts combination together.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you eat it in that manner, it's very, very good. But without knowing the repercussions of eating dried fruit and just giving them to eat dry fruits is not recommended.
Okay. Can hospital food be tasty?
Yes, why not?
Because sometimes patients say that the
hospital food is boring. Yes.
very boring and unpalatable,
Yes.
and dietitian is more like a Hitler.
Oh God!
ये
yes.
मत खाओ, वो मत खाओ.
Yes. No, there's nothing like that. In fact, the hospitals have now started giving in good food and tastier foods. So most of the time, there is no limitation or restriction to the spices in the food. Spices like your haldi, your black pepper, your dhania jeera powder. These are safest on the gut and the lightest on the gut. Okay, but again we'll have to maintain. The only thing that makes it not palatable is the restriction because of the salt intake. But if you have blood pressure and other comorbidities, we will have the need to restrict it. And the older complaints where it was not meetha is all gone because now the hospitals have also started using artificial sweeteners which are lighter on the gut, like stevia or green. Stevia is the cheapest, but not the rest of them because they're then a little heavy on the pocket, so then they will not use it. But you get meetha also in the hospitals now.
Okay.
So it's not that they're boring.
The safe meetha.
Yeah, the safe meetha. So you now the dietitian started planning it in that manner that you get chole also, you get ussal also, you get rajma also, and you get veg makhani and idlis and everything in for the food. And if you have no comorbidities and just there for some fever, then you will get some sandwiches also sometime. But it's just tweaked in a manner where it's more healthier for you to eat and it's not doing any harm to the body when ingested. Because your recovery is very, very important there, because we don't want you to stay in the hospital all the time.
Yeah.
We want you to go out and meet us later maybe, but not at the hospital beds all the time. So that time we have to be a little stricter, but now the hospitals have started giving tastier foods in fact, and the variety of food that they get every 7 day has been planned in a manner that no food has been repeated in the first
So a
day of the
timetable
week.
type of thing.
Yes, it's been planned. It's been modified as per the patients. When we're going on the runs, we talk to them, and then the modifications are done accordingly. We see the investigation reports. We make sure that if there are a particular parameters not falling in place, we will have to tweak in through the food, and we make sure that that's done and it's safe for the patient to consume.
So means, are you also saying me in one way that the dietitian is in constant touch with the patient's doctor?
Yes. Doctors actually hamesha, we are always in touch with the doctors. They leave us a note or we talk to them, and the patient, the doctor and the dietitian is always in the loop when they treating the patient. ठीक है? So it's not कि हमने हमारे हिसाब से, it's always in the conversation with the doctor, the patient's comfort, उनको कोई distension नहीं है, पेट में गड़बड़ नहीं हो रही है, motions पास हो रहे नहीं हो रहे खाने से, वो सारा जानकर उनको जम रहा है खाना या नहीं खाना. क्योंकि there are we in India have different palates every 510 kilometers ahead. हर जगह पर खाने की टेस्ट, खाने की जो आदत होती है वो अलग होती है। यहाँ पर हम ट्राई करते हैं जितना हो सके उतना पेशेंट के हिसाब से करके दे, तो वो डाइटिशियन और पेशेंट के बीच की बात होती है। लेकिन पेशेंट को क्या कितनी हद तक हम दे सकते हैं, प्लान करना है, ये दे रहे हैं तो आपको क्या ध्यान रखनी होगी, वो सब भी हम डॉक्टर्स से बात करके ही करते हैं। सो द डाइटिशियन, द डॉक्टर एंड द पेशेंट इज ऑलवेज इन द सेम लूप and being treated in that manner.
तो अभी we are seeing कि idli, a vegan diet and a fermented diet and a diet which is soft and not heavy diet. So it is being promoted as the superfood.
Yes.
So is it better than a North Indian diet?
Okay, so again when we talk about foods in India, North India maybe we have too many different varieties of food, but when we talk about just Punjabi khana like parathas, if we talking about North Indian food, parathas, paneer tikkas or naan, as compared to South Indian foods like idli, dosa, idli is winning here. So South Indian food is ideally a boon for Indians also. The way the idli is prepared, there's rice in it which is easy for the gut to digest. So somebody who's got celiac disease, who can't digest food well, rice becomes a very good option for them. The combination of pulses in it now plays a very good role here. It makes the protein a complete protein, because amino acids, some are missing in the cereal, some are missing in the pulses. When they combine together, ये पूरा हाई क्वालिटी प्रोटीन बन जाता है, विच इज इक्विवेलेंट टू आपका चिकन और फिश। तो जब हम उसको नारियल की चटनी के साथ खा रहे हैं जो हेल्दी फैट्स दे रहा है हमको, और सांभर के साथ दे रहे हैं जो हमें वेजिटेबल्स दे रहा है जो हमारे गट के लिए बहुत अच्छा है, प्लस द दाल्स, तो द कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ ईटिंग इडली चटनी सांबार इज सो होलसम कि उतनी सी डिश में आपको सारे न्यूट्रिएंट्स मिल रहे हैं। इट्स लाइटर ऑन द गट, डाइजेस्ट करने में इजी है, प्लस द फर्मेंटेशन प्रोसेस होता है, उससे आपका विटामिन सी है या कुछ विटामिन 3 गुना बढ़ जाते हैं। तो वो व्हेन कंपेयर्ड टू पराठास इज विच इज मोर कार्ब बेस्ड, क्योंकि हम ज्यादा आटा वापरते हैं उसमें, इज अ बेटर ऑप्शन। लेकिन पराठे अगर हम खा रहे हैं तो हम दाल पराठा, पनीर पराठा, सब्जियों वाला पराठा दही के साथ ले रहे हैं, साथ में काली दाल ले ली या दाल तड़का ले लिया और कोई सब्जी ले ली, तो वो कॉम्बिनेशन फिर इसको बैलेंस कर देता है। तो ऐसा नहीं है कि ये बहुत अच्छा है और नॉर्थ इंडियंस क्या करेंगे। नॉर्थ इंडियंस अगर इस तरीके से अपने पराठे खा रहे हैं तो बिल्कुल खा सकते हैं, उनको इडली सांभर फोर्स करके खिलाने की जरूरत नहीं है।
Okay, so there is no need to be a North-South Indian war regarding food at least.
We have too many wars to fight. People can't fight on food now. Food is something that will always bring people together. It's always a conversation starter. It's always getting vibes match. हमारा कोई भी अच्छा ओकेजन होता है हम खाने पे मिलते हैं। शादी है तो आजकल किसकी शादी है नहीं पता है, खाने में क्या था वो
Three Idiots.
Yes.
प्लेट भर के खाओ।
तो देन वो चीज करना इज, फूड इज नेवर टू बी फॉट अबाउट। उस पे लड़ाई नहीं होनी चाहिए, उस पे भाईचारा जरूर होना चाहिए।
अभी डॉक्टर के पास जब पेशेंट जाता है तो वो जरूर कभी तो पूछता है कि महीने में एक बार दारू चलेगी। तो दैट वे डू पीपल आस्क यू एज ए डाइटिशियन कि कभी मैं कुछ ज्यादा खाऊं चलेगा क्या, एंड व्हाट आर योर व्यूज ऑन इट?
नहीं, खाना आपको थोड़ा बिंजिंग so binging as a concept is not really a very healthy हैबिट टू इंडल्ज इन। ठीक है, बिंजिंग कभी कभार हो जाती है बिकॉज आप पार्टी में गए हो, सेल्फ कंट्रोल नहीं रहा, अलग बात है, बट बिंजिंग एज अ कॉन्सेप्ट is not encouraged.
So madam, the person is at home and healthy nutritious food is being given, and what are your views about desi ghee versus dalda?
Desi ghee has been villainized for no reason, as in excess of anything is dangerous, and the way our Indian dadis and nannies used to pour in ghees in our food, at that point of time was okay because they were doing a lot of farming at that point of time. Majorly were invested in a lot of hard work, physically more strenuous work, and then that ghee used to be digested and metabolized for them. The same procedure when now used in where majority of us in the first tier, two tier cities are having a sedentary job. We not being farming or doing any major hard works or strenuous exercises there where it could be utilized. So ghee is ideally very good for y'all, but then it's supposed to be taken in moderation. Moderation as in just like if your everyday's fat intake is there, 1/3 of it should be coming from ghee, which is around 1 to 1.5 teaspoon, depending on the person again, because nutrition is always very very customized and it keeps changing as per the individuals as well. Whereas coming to dalda is a big no.
Okay.
If you can't purchase ghee, does not mean that you will go in and use dalda as an alternative. Dalda comes along with a lot of free radicals, trans fat, which is later giving you more cardiac conditions and stroke. It's responsible for all of this. Free radicals are again so dangerous that you are at a risk of having cancer when consumed for a longer period of time as well. So dalda is a big no. Dalda, hydrogenated fats are a big no, but ghee, if you get your hands on real good quality ghee, very very good. 1 teaspoon a day to 1 tablespoon a day is also recommended as per the patient's lifestyle and food habits and ethnicity at the same time. So then ghee is not a no at all, but dalda is a big no.
Okay, so then the routine vegetable oils, and in the South Indian foods they have the coconut oil. So about that.
So routine vegetables oil, again all the vegetables oil cannot be consumed. So with oils there's a lot of things going on. We stick to a particular oil because, and then the omega 3 omega 6 ratio keeps varying हर ऑयल में. तो आपको क्या करना है, घर पर कोई भी 2 से 3 तरीके की ऑयल को ब्लेंड कर दो और वो यूज़ करो. पहले बोला जाता था हर 3 महीने में तुम तेल बदलो, लेकिन शरीर तो वही है. शरीर को रोज़ अपना ओमेगा 3 ओमेगा 6 चाहिए होता है, म्यूफा प्रूफा चाहिए होता है, जो अलग अलग तेल से हमें मिल रहा है. तो अभी हम ये बताते हैं कि ब्लेंडिंग ऑफ ऑयल्स इज़ नेसेसरी. सो 2 से 3 तेल, एक होगा नट सीड से, एक वेजिटेबल ऑयल से, और फिर ये सैचुरेटेड फैटी एसिड जैसे कोकोनट ऑयल हो गया. अ ब्लेंड ऑफ दीज ऑयल्स आर मच बेटर देन यूजिंग 1 सिंगल ऑयल एवरी डे. उसमें कुछ सीड ऑयल्स होते हैं जो इन्फ्लेमेटरी होते हैं गट को, तो हम वो चीज़ें ध्यान में रखें कि हर हर ऑयल को हम बैलेंस में वापरें. तो वो मिक्स ऑफ ऑयल इज़ अ वेरी गुड ऑप्शन फॉर अ रेगुलर डे यूज़. सेकंड है बहुत बड़ा मिथ अराउंड ऑलिव ऑयल ऑल्सो.
हाँ, ऑलिव ऑयल, यस.
तो ऑलिव ऑयल इज़ द फैंसीस्ट फॉर्म ऑफ ऑयल्स करंटली, और जो हेल्दी बनता है मतलब ऑलिव ऑयल खाता है. लेकिन ऑलिव ऑयल अगर हम नेचुरली देखें तो उसे हम फायर पे नहीं डाल सकते.
अच्छा, फ्राइंग इज नॉट,
फ्राइंग और गिविंग तड़का ऑल्सो एट अ वेरी हाई टेम्परेचर इज नॉट रिकमेंडेड अनलेस वो ऑयल को वैसे उन्होंने अभी मैन्युफैक्चर. सो नाउ यू हैव cooking based olive oil also coming in the market, which are there. So that
basically
also
it's a top up on a salad.
Yes, ideally olive oil is supposed to be used off the temperature. Now the moment it starts having vapors, ऊपर से धुआं निकलने लगता है, मतलब आपका जो हेल्दी ऑलिव ऑयल है वो ट्रांस फैट में कन्वर्ट हो रहा है, जो और ख़राब है हमारे लिए, जो डालडा से हमें मिल रहा था. तो आइडियली olive oil cannot be used for cooking unless it's been mentioned on the bottle because of the processes that they undergo. Varna olive oil is only for salad dressings or top ups. Okay. Third thing is better versions of oil जो हमारे traditionally काफ़ी लोग use करते हैं, mustard oil. मस्टर्ड ऑयल इज अ वेरी गुड ऑप्शन. पीनट ऑयल बहुत अच्छा ऑप्शन है. तो जो नट बेस्ड ऑयल्स चले आ रहे हैं हमारे ट्रेडिशनल खाने में, यूजिंग दैट ऑल्सो अगेन इन द मॉडरेशन पूरे इज वेरी वेरी रिकमेंडेड. अभी आप ये बोलोगे कि हाउ डू वी मेजर, हमने क्या. सो आपको कितना ऑयल लेना है वो हमेशा आपकी डाइटिशियंस बताती है. इन जनरली हम 3 टीस्पून्स ऑफ फैट्स, उसमें सब कुछ आ जाता है, ऑयल, घी, बटर, हर चीज पर डे अलाउ कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, लेकिन आपके घर पे
पर पर्सन लेकिन आपके घर पे कितना कंज्यूम हो रहा है आप कैसे देखोगे? तो दिस वन एक्टिविटी आई वुड आल्सो वांट यू ऑल टू डू इन इज स्टार्ट अंडरस्टैंडिंग 1 महीने में आपके घर पे कितना लीटर तेल आ रहा है, घर पे कितने लोग हैं, उसे डिवाइड कर लो. तो जितना तेल आ रहा है डिवाइडेड बाय द नंबर ऑफ पीपल आपके घर पे है. So suppose a 5 kilogram oil can for a 3 person
और 5 adults और 5 adults.
5 adults, okay.
तो हम 1 kg of fats oil is being used for 1 person per month. हम वैसे उसको कैलकुलेट करके समझ सकते हैं कि हमारा कितना कंजम्पशन घर पर हो रहा है.
So that will be 1 liter is 1000 ml divided by the 30 days.
Yes.
So that comes to around
that is your per day
30
serving.
ml per day.
Yes. So 30 ml is around 2 tablespoons.
Okay.
हमें चाहिए 1 tablespoon. So इनको और कम करना है इनका.
Double, it should last double the month.
Yes. So now he has to ideally take 500 ml of oil throughout the month for that particular person. बट ये आप समझ के अभी तो ये जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ वो हार्ड एंड फास्ट रूल नहीं होता है, आपको भी आपके हिसाब से देखना होता है. लेकिन ये चीज़ करके देखो, एटलीस्ट आपको अवेयरनेस तो आएगी कि आपके घर पे कितना तेल जा रहा है. अब हमें लग रहा है कि ठीक है 500 ml मैंने आपको बोल दिया कि इतना चलेगा, मतलब आधा किलो तेल घी का चल रहा है. पर आप अगर घर पे खारी, टोस्ट, बिस्किट, ब्रेड, बटर खा रहे हो, फरसान आ रहा है घर पर, तो ये सब तो हिडन फॉर्म्स ऑफ ऑयल है, उस पे हमने ध्यान नहीं दिया है. तो आइडियली हमारा पूरा दिन का कंजम्पशन और बढ़ता है. तो वो जितना कम हो सके हम करें इज मोर एडवाइज्ड. कभी सैंडविच बन रही है, ब्रेड बटर बन रहा है, तो वो फैट्स भी तो हम यूज कर रहे हैं. तो ये चीजों पे भी हमें ध्यान देना है कि हम हिडन फॉर्म्स, आप बोलोगे हम तला हुआ नहीं खा रहे, लेकिन सिर्फ तला हुआ खाने में फैट्स ऐसा नहीं है, और भी चीजों में फैट्स होती है जो हमें नहीं दिख रहा. एक और बहुत बड़ा मिथ है कि शैलो फ्राइंग और डीप फ्राइंग में हम शैलो फ्राई करें खाना को. बट व्हेन वी वर स्टडिंग एंड व्हेन वी वर डूइंग आवर प्रैक्टिकल्स, और ये एक्चुअली भी है आउट इन द पेपर्स, कि शैलो फ्राइंग में हम ज्यादा तेल कंज्यूम करते हैं, वेयरएज हम डीप फ्राइंग में उतना तेल कंज्यूम नहीं करते हैं.
बिकॉज इट टेक्स लॉन्गर टू कुक, तो एब्जॉर्ब्स मोर ज्यादा.
सेकेंड, इतना सा पैन है एंड दिस मच इज योर ऑयल एंड यू, अब जो यहाँ पर क्या है, पूरा हम डाला वो निकाला, इट्स लीचिंग आउट मोर ऑयल देन हियर व्हेन यू मेकिंग अ पैनकेक, और उसके ऊपर हमने पूरा 1 चम्मच डाल दिया. पर यू डोंट नो कि फ्राइंग के टाइम पे उतना 1 चम्मच गया है या नहीं गया है. सो समटाइम्स इनफैक्ट इट्स सीन कि हम डीप फ्राइंग में ज़्यादा कम ऑयल यूज़ कर रहे हैं और शैलो फ्राई में ज़्यादा यूज़ कर लेते हैं. और बेकिंग में उससे ज़्यादा हो जाती है कभी कभी. सो वो भी हमें अलर्टनेस होना चाहिए. दूसरी चीज़ और एक है जो बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है, इज द साइज ऑफ द फूड व्हेन यू फ्राइंग. तो जितनी छोटी चीज़ें होती है उतनी ज़्यादा उसमें तेल का कंजम्पशन होगा वर्सेस एक बड़ा. सो सपोजिंगली हम एग्जांपल लेते हैं समोसे का या वड़ा का और कांदा भजी का या कोई भी वेजिटेबल की. ओ चलो ओके, लेट्स टेक बटाटा वड़ा एंड बटाटा भजी. सेम पोर्शन ऑफ पोटैटो हमने वापरा है दोनों में, इधर 100 ग्राम इधर 100 ग्राम. बट द मोमेंट मैंने उसको वड़ा बना के उसका सरफेस एरिया बड़ा कर दिया, तो आई एम कंज्यूमिंग लेसर ऑयल वर्सेस जो छोटी छोटी स्ट्रिप्स में हमने फ्राई करा पोटैटो को, उसमें ज्यादा ऑयल जाता है. सो देन वी ऑल्सो मेक श्योर कि अगर ऐसी चॉइसेस होती है हमारे पास और वो डीप फ्राइड होगी तो थोड़ी बड़ी साइज में ले लिए और उतना ही पोर्शन का छोटी साइज का चीज ना ले, सो दैट योर ऑयल कंजम्पशन इज बैलेंस्ड.
तो आपने अभी यू टॉक्ड इन बिटवीन अबाउट द ऑयल हैविंग द फ्यूम्स. So how many times can we reuse oil?
Yes, I was actually about to come to that as well. Ideally कोई भी तेल को अगर आपने फ्राई कर दिया, if you used a particular form of oil for frying, you will not use it again for frying. ठीक है, मतलब उसको हाई टेम्परेचर में हम वापस नहीं लाएंगे, मैक्सिमम हम उसको 2 बार वापर सकते हैं, बट उसके बाद अगर हम वापस उसको रीयूज करते हैं तो वापस उसमें भी ट्रांस फैट या फ्री रेडिकल्स आना शुरू हो जाता है, मेजरली फ्री रेडिकल्स, बिकॉज वी कुकिंग इट। तो हम क्या कर सकते हैं, हम फेंक तो नहीं देंगे, इंडिया में कोई तेल या घी नहीं फेंकने वाला है, राइट? सो व्हाट यू कैन डू इज, उसको है ना घर पे छोटी छोटी चीज़ों में जिसमें हम तेल वापरते हैं, जैसे आटा गूंदना है, तड़का देना है, उस चीज़ों में आप उसको यूज़ कर लो। बट ऑल्सो मेक श्योर आप वो मिक्स नहीं करते हो फ्रेश तेल के साथ, जिसको वो डाइल्यूशन में आप जो अच्छा तेल है उसका भी क्वालिटी खराब कर रहे हो। तो वो चीज़ें हम नहीं करेंगे, लेकिन एक बार यूज़ कर लिया उसको मैक्सिमम 2 बार यूज़ करो, उसके बाद जैसे छोटी छोटी चीज़ों में जहाँ ज़्यादा उसको हीट नहीं लगनी चाहिए उस समय पे आप उसको यूज़ कर लो। So that is how you can manage your oil. We will not throw it away. If you can, then it's better don't reuse it. But if you are reusing it, you use it in the manner that we've just spoken about.
Okay. So dietitians and Diwali. Are you the hunter wali? Are you the hunter wali?
Yeah, I think लोगों को लगता होगा डाइटिशियंस है ना दिवाली मनाते ही नहीं है कि उनको इतना मतलब डाइट नाम आता है तो ऐसा लगता है कि इसको भूखा रहना है, विच इज नॉट द फैक्ट। इनफैक्ट मैं बोलती हूँ आप सब खा लो, जो खाना चाहते हो आप खाओ, लेकिन कोई भी चीज में बिंजिंग नहीं होगी। सेकेंड है मॉडरेशन इज ऑलवेज गोइंग टू बी द की। आप यहाँ पे आज सोचोगे मैं नहीं खाऊंगा, सपोजिंगली आपको काजू कतली आ गई, ठीक है, आपने कंट्रोल किया, 2 चीज हो जाती है। एक तो आप वो सोच के ना अपने आप को स्ट्रेस में डाल रहे हो, उसमें आपका कॉर्टिसोल बढ़ा के आप वैसे भी आपका शुगर बढ़ा रहे हो। So I would rather recommend you take that 1 काजू कतली, 2 काजू कतली and eat it. और फिर बाद में आपको लगेगा कि छोड़ो, अभी जब नहीं खाई है तो आपको लगेगा कि I've not eaten, छोड़ अभी जाने तो सब कुछ मैं खा लेता हूँ, तो आप उसमें ज्यादा खाना शुरू कर लोगे। So it's better कि कभी मन करता है कोई चीज का बहुत ले लो, बाद में वापस ट्रैक पे आ जाओ। वो अगर आपका माइंडसेट वैसा हो जाता है कि इफ यू आर ईटिंग समथिंग दैट यू आर नॉट सपोज्ड टू ईट बट यू रियली वांट टू ईट इट, यू टेक इट, बट देन यू make sure that the next meals are more in the cleaner format, and the moment that mindset comes in, that adaptation in the lifestyle comes in, you will be enjoying your food and your lifestyle in a healthier manner. So there is no to anything, you balance it out. Then there are more few tips and tricks that the dietitian will give you. You either take fiber before you take your meetha, or you take protein along with the meetha, या फिर शुगर फ्री वर्जन ले लो। सो इफ द शुगर, अभी स्टिविया गिव्स अ बिटर आफ्टर टेस्ट, बट नाउ यू हैव मॉन्क फ्रूट स्वीटनर, यू हैव एरिथ्रोल जो सेफ भी है कंज्यूम करने में, यू टेक स्वीट्स दैट आर मेड फ्रॉम दैट। इफ यू हैव नो अदर कंडीशन, तभी ड्राइड फ्रूट्स कम इनटू पिक्चर्स। लेट द खजूर पाक है या आपकी जो स्वीट्स है, लेट इट बी स्वीटन विद द डेट्स एंड द रेजिन्स, तो उस चीज का बना हुआ चलेगा। वन मोर मिथ, अगर आप शुगर वाली मिठाई नहीं लेके आप जैगरी वाली मिठाई ले रहे हो,
इंडियन फूड्स,
कुछ नहीं होने वाला। हमारी शुगर जैगरी से ही आती है, गन्ना, लाइक योर शुगर केन, फिर जैगरी, और फिर तो इट डजंट मेक एनी डिफरेंस इन द ब्लड ग्लूकोज लेवल्स। दिमाग को नहीं समझने वाला है कि आपने जैगरी दी तो मैं 4 ग्राम शुगर ना रिलीज करूं, वो उसको शुगर की तरह ही ट्रीट करेगा। तो आप अगर ज्यादा पैसे देके या आउट ऑफ फैशन या ये समझ के लेते हो जैगरी वाली मिठाइयाँ कि इससे मेरा शुगर नहीं बढ़ने वाला, ये हेल्दी है, तो इट्स अ मिथ। आई वुड रादर से आप नॉर्मल जो आपको मिठाई पसंद है वो खा लो, बस बाद में वापस डाइट पे आ जाओ, एज इन क्लीन ईटिंग पे आ जाओ बस।
So you're telling about things which are not to eat, but can a diabetic person eat rice?
Yeah. Yes, I never say no to my patients for not eating rice. Never. अगर मेरे पास साउथ इंडियन पेशेंट आ रहे हैं, महाराष्ट्रियन पेशेंट, एंड आई टेल देम कि आप मत लेना चावल, वो मेरे को छोड़ देंगे लेकिन चावल नहीं छोड़ेंगे। तो इट्स अ बिग मिथ दैट यू कैन नॉट टेक राइस, या एक पर्टिकुलर ये लो ये मत लो। साइंटिफिकली देखेंगे तो ग्लाइसेमिक इंडेक्स है, ग्लाइसेमिक लोड है, वो ज़्यादा है, राइस नहीं लो, वो पहले बोलते थे, विच वॉज नॉट रॉन्ग। लेकिन अब देयर आर वेज। अब डाइटिशियंस मना नहीं करती है कोई चीज की, वो आपको तरीका देगी, ये तरीके से खाओ आपका शुगर सही रहेगा। और शुगर ऐसी चीज है कि वो आप मैनिपुलेट करो वो ठीक से हो जाएगी। तो पहले ग्लाइसेमिक इंडेक्स, ग्लाइसेमिक लोड देखते थे जो साइंटिफिकली राइट होता था, तो वी यूज टू आस्क देम नॉट टू टेक द राइस, ठीक है। अब ऐसा नहीं करते हैं। आई गिव यू फ्यू ट्रिक्स कि आप कैसे चावल खा सकते हो। अगर उस तरीके से खाते हो तो आप आराम से चावल खा सकते हो, तो देयर विल बी नो टू राइस। एक है बासी चावल खाना। बासी चावल मतलब आप चावल कुक करो, उसको पानी डिस्कार्ड कर दिया, ठीक है, तो हमने एक्स्ट्रा स्टार्च निकाल दिया। सेकेंड विल बी डू नॉट टेक हॉट पाइपिंग राइस देन एंड देयर। उसको आप 12 घंटा रहने दो, ठंडा करके रखना है, ठीक है। जब आप ये प्रोसेस ऑफ ठंडा करना ऑफ द राइस करते हो, द कूलिंग ऑफ द राइस, उसमें रेजिस्टेंस स्टार्च डेवलप होता है जो एक फाइबर ही है। मतलब हमने थोड़ा फाइबर कंटेंट ऑफ द राइस बढ़ा दिया, मतलब शुगर वो उतना स्पाइक नहीं करेगा। ये हो गया एक चीज। सेकंड होगा उसको रूम टेम्परेचर पे ही ठंडा करने दो, सो दैट आपको जब उसे वापस खाना हो, ठीक है, जब हम 12 घंटे का गैप बोलते हो तो रात को बनाओ, सुबह खाओ, नेक्स्ट डे मॉर्निंग लंच में ले लो और सुबह बना के रात को खा लो, तो इट बिकम्स इजी फॉर यू टू मैनेज ऑल्सो, ठीक है। तो वो जो चावल लेते हैं आप, 1 कटोरी चावल लिया, उसमें आपको एटलीस्ट 2 कप दाल लेना है, या फिर चिकन फिश बनता है तो उसका आपकी हथेली जितना मीट ले लो, ठीक है, और डबल द अमाउंट ऑफ वेजिटेबल्स डाल दो, या 1 सर्विंग ऑफ सब्जी और सैलेड। उस तरीके से अगर आपने सब खाया तो आपका शुगर नहीं बढ़ रहा है उतना, ठीक है। नेचुरली आप कुछ भी खाओ शुगर थोड़ा बढ़ने ही वाला है, तो वो उतना ही रहेगा, बट एटलीस्ट देयर आर नो मेजर पीक्स in the blood glucose levels that's affecting you or giving you symptoms of high sugar. Clear? One is that. Second is the how you start eating your food, the pattern at which you, the series at which you eat your food. तो पहले आपको सैलेड खा लेना है, वो खा लिया, उसके बाद आप दाल, चावल एंड सब्जी उसको खा लो। So ideally you eat fiber first, then protein and the carbs, but because ये चावल, अब मैं ऐसे नहीं बोलूँगी आप दाल पी लो पहले, राइट? So you mix everything together and then eat that, ठीक है। और वो करने के बाद तुरंत लेट मत जाओ, just 10 to 15 minutes of walk is making sure कि आपका बहुत ज़्यादा पीक नहीं कर रहा है शुगर, ठीक है। This is one thing. Second very important thing is do not take चावल और रोटी टुगेदर। हम एक ही प्लेट में 2 कार्ब्स नहीं रख सकते। जब आपको चावल लेना है आप चावल लो, जब आपको रोटी लेनी है आप रोटी लो, दोनों को मिक्स नहीं करना बस। तो आपका जो कार्ब कंटेंट ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर मील है वो कम हो जाता है। सो देन carbs are necessary for the body. You can never go out of carbs, never. So eat your carbs, eat your vegetables, eat your protein. If it's combined and balanced in a manner, it's good for you to eat. So कभी राइस अभी नान नहीं है, you eat it in the form of बिरयानी जहाँ ज़्यादा तेल नहीं है, चिकन है, फिश है, एग है, या पनीर हो गया, वो तो you can enjoy all of that also with nice vegetable raita along with it. चाइनीज खा रहे हो तो चाइनीज राइस, साथ में पनीर 65, सॉरी चिकन 65 या चिली पनीर मंगवा लो और वेजिटेबल्स साथ में स्टर फ्राई करके ले लो, तो आपने आपका चाइनीज भी एंजॉय कर लिया।
सो नाउ यू वर टेलिंग मी कि आप विदाउट कार्बोहाइड्रेट डाइट हो नहीं सकता, लेकिन बीच में वो कीटो डाइट का क्रेज आया था where you used to eat a lot of
fats and proteins,
and zero carbohydrates. So that has now not so much in fashion.
Yes.
So what
because
was the
there have been researches जिसने again it's showing the benefits and the repercussions of eating it. But when you want to lead a healthy life, how long can you go for a keto diet? Keto diet cannot be done for more than 6 to 9 months. ये भी मैं बहुत ज़्यादा बता रही हूँ। 3 महीने के अंदर I would recommend, अगर मैं किसी को कीटो पे डाल रही हूँ, 3 महीने से ज़्यादा नहीं होगा। आइडियली कीटो डाइट वॉज फॉर पेशेंट्स जो टाइप 1 डायबिटिक्स थे, जिनको अपना कार्ब काउंट करके लेना होता था इंसुलिन, ठीक है, उनको हर मील में लेना पड़ता है, तो उनके लिए उन्होंने इजी हो गया था कि कार्ब्स कम कर देते हैं तो शुगर ज़्यादा ऊपर नीचे नहीं होगा। दूसरा था एपिलेप्टिक पीपल के लिए, उनके लिए बनाया गया था। फिर हमने इसको डाला फैट डाइट पे, जहाँ पर हमने वेट लॉस के लिए उसको प्रमोट किया, लेकिन ये हेल्दी नहीं था ना, उसको आप लाइफ टाइम कंटिन्यू कर पाते हो, और कोई भी फूड ग्रुप को कम्प्लीटली निकालना इज नॉट द राइट थिंग. कार्ब्स आर इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर योर ब्रेन टू फंक्शन. आपका ब्रेन सिर्फ ग्लूकोज लेता है एनर्जी के लिए, वो प्रोटीन फैट्स नहीं लेगा, तो वो कहाँ से आएगा? सो फिर हम साइंस में जाए और वो प्रोटीन को कन्वर्ट करके ग्लूकोज में लाए, पर उसमें जो इमोशनली पेशेंट लोग अफेक्ट होते हैं वो पूरा अलग ही टर्माइल है. मतलब द वे दे cannot take their emotions well because brain is not functioning in that manner. कोई भी कीटो पे भी जाएगा, उनका थर्ड फोर्थ डे ऑफ द diet will be the difficult most, because that's where आपका protein then starts getting converted and then becoming glucose. उतना टाइम हमने कार्ब्स दिया ही नहीं है तो ग्लूकोज गया ही नहीं था दिमाग को. It affects you mentally also. So with all of this, ये चीज़ें बहुत अलग तरीके से बनाई गई थी और किसी और चीज़ के लिए थी. Now they started using it for fat loss, but it cannot be taken for long periods. So मैं personally avoid करती हूँ लोगों को कीटो पे डालने से. It's not very recommended. People do benefit with it, but then when they're leaving or coming off keto, they have to make sure that they are guided by the dietitians. और वो भी कीटो की स्पेशल dietitians भी होती है. You have special keto dietitians. It's always recommended to go to them when you want to come forward for or follow a keto diet, and when you want to get out of the keto diet. So that has to be done by a professional. Do not use ChatGPT for this at all. Not at all. So one thing very important, keto diet is very easily, I've seen so many following keto from the ChatGPT. And then they come to you and then they be like, ye ho gaya, I to did keto but I don't know what's not working out for me. I'll ask them, stop using ChatGPT, stop doing keto, let's follow a basic balanced diet which is making your life easier and also making your health feel better.
So madam, there are some AI apps in which you put up a photograph of your meal and it tells you the calories and everything. So how good are they?
Again, these are these apps are like technology. इसका boon भी है और इसका इसका pros भी है, इसका cons भी है. So pros for people who are genuinely wanting to go for a weight loss, calorie restricted diet पे है, guided by a dietitian. And then if she's recommending them कि this is what, so when they start using that app, they still know what they have to expect from that food picture, and then it's also been guided by the dietitian कि this is how you will be doing it. If you do it all by yourself, you don't know the amount of calories, proteins, fat you require. And you just want to do it because you want to be low on calorie, low on carb, having a weight loss, all again advised by the ChatGPT. It's not going to be safe for you to go for it. These apps again were majorly useful for somebody who's a type 1 diabetic who has to count their carbs and then eat, calculate their insulin. So for them, or somebody who's extremely obese and want to lose weight and has been guided by the dietitian, this is your calorie, this is what your food looks like. Is it planned, and you just confirming that whatever has been planned, the portion size or whatever you will be eating is matching up to it. It's a good guidance for you. But then if you're using it in a manner where you are doing it because the ChatGPT has guided you कि this much calorie, protein, fats you need for your weight loss, which is all very it's all very generalized. It may not be helpful for you. So completely depending on these apps is not advisable, but then you use it as a guidance is again a yes. So then you use it as a guidance but not depend on it for whatever your goals are, health goals.
So are there any vegetarian bodybuilders?
Yes, why can't there be vegetarian bodybuilders? When you are building muscles, you have to pay attention to two major things, okay? One is protein, one is resistance training. Clear? Now it's a big myth that vegetarians को protein ही नहीं मिल रहा है. And therefore they can't do bodybuilding. We have so many of them in fact. सो सिर्फ मच्छी, सिर्फ चिकन, सिर्फ एग से प्रोटीन नहीं मिलता. यू हैव वेजिटेरियन सोर्सेज. दैट इज हाउ द वेजिटेरियंस आर सर्वाइविंग ऑल्सो. दे ऑल्सो हैव देयर मसल डेवलपमेंट. दे ऑल्सो हैव देयर ग्रोथ. What is it? Simple. All your dals, your lentils, which are major source of protein for the vegetarians, okay? Which is chana, chole, rajma, tur, moong, masoor ki dal, everything. All your dals, all your lentils, your whole pulses are a good source of protein for you. Clear? सेकेंड इज रेजिस्टेंस ट्रेनिंग. वो ट्रेनर आपको करवाता रहेगा. नाउ वी हैव वेरी गुड प्रोटीन सप्लीमेंट्स ऑल्सो कमिंग इन द मार्केट विच इज अ वेजिटेरियन फ्रेंडली प्रोटीन ऑप्शन फॉर यू. मेक्स इट वेरी easy for you to match your protein requirements. So then a combination of your proteins, carbs, fats, with high protein, moderate carbs, low fat, and then additionally supplementing it with protein powders, with your either again could be vegan or whey, whatever the gut is accepting. They can आराम से build their body. Then they follow that with their resistance training. वो trainer का काम है. वो trainer will help them out. He'll help him with the exercises. The dietitian will help him with his post recovery, pre-workouts, everything, and then they definitely can also stand along with those others, building their body, winning competitions. They can also be there. Nobody can differentiate between a non-vegetarian body and a vegetarian body. That cannot
So
happen.
in other words, is a dietitian part of a life team?
Yes, a dietitian can be a life coach as well, and a life coach is incomplete without a dietitian. Because when you come to a dietitian, she will guide you not only from the food but your lifestyle. It's not that you write the diet and you give it to them और यही follow करना है. We are actually spending an hour, 45 minutes to 60 minutes with the patient to make them understand मैंने ये क्यों दिया है आपको, ये combination में आपको क्यों खाना है. Which we've also been talking about combinations and the timings of the food. So one is that. So we try tweaking in lifestyle changes and a habit for them to understand this is how you can lead a healthy life without major changes in your body. And we also ask them to do something as simple as walking, which is again a physical activity, a part of life coaching. And nowadays we've also started introducing something called as food psychology. जहाँ पे we are also tweaking in कि आपको stress हो रहा है, नींद सही नहीं आ रही है, क्या दिक्कत है. You listen to them. जहाँ पे भी डाइटरी इंटरवेंशंस काम कर सकते हैं हम वो करते हैं. और ये सब से आप फ्यूचर में बीपी, कोलेस्ट्रॉल और डायबिटीज़ जैसी बीमारियाँ दूर रख सकते हो. बिकॉज द मोमेंट आपका लाइफस्टाइल यहाँ पर चेंज हो रहा है तो वो काम तो लाइफ कोच का भी है. यही चीज़ डाइटिशियन भी करती है. तो अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ अ लाइफ कोच इज ऑलवेज द डाइटिशियन, साइकोलॉजिस्ट एंड द ट्रेनर. If that combination is coming in, you are at a good life coach. I would rather say that. So ये चीज़ें अभी बहुत ज़रूरी है. So dietitian अभी सिर्फ डाइट नहीं देती है, वो हर चीज़ पे एटलीस्ट बात कर लेंगे. और फिर अगर उनको पता है कि वो उनके दायरे से बाहर है, ये इनकी नॉलेज में नहीं गिरता है, तो स्पेशलिस्ट उसमें अंदर आके डेफिनेटली इनको हेल्प करते हैं. एंड दैट ऑल्सो इंक्लूड्स डॉक्टर्स. We are always in touch with the doctors to understand what interventions are the best for the patients.
So in a setup of a diabetologist doctor, usually patient जाता है 1 महीने में रिपोर्ट करके fasting PLBS and he meets the doctor once a month. So how often should a diabetes patient meet a dietitian?
ओके, यहाँ पर आई वुड लाइक टू आस्क यू कि आपके घर से या आप तो जो डॉक्टर हैं आप बिलीव करते हो इन चीज़ों में, पर नियर जो हमारी फर्स्ट फैमिली होती है उसमें से कितने लोग कभी बिना कोई रीज़न के डाइटिशियंस के पास जाने का सोचते हैं?
Never.
Yes, so that is where the problem comes in. डाइटिशियन के पास अगर आपको आपका गोल क्लियर है, मुझे हेल्दी लाइफस्टाइल जीनी है, मुझे सही तरीके से अपनी लाइफस्टाइल जीनी है, यू शुड गो टू द डाइटिशियन देन एंड देयर. आपको वेट नहीं करना है कि आपको कुछ होगा तब आप डॉक्टर के पास जाओगे और कुछ होगा उसके जब डॉक्टर बोलेंगे तब आप डाइटिशियन के पास आओ। खाना तो हम रोज़ खा रहे हैं, अगर हम पहले ही ठीक कर दें तो शायद आपको डॉक्टर के पास जाने की ज़रूरत ना पड़े, राइट? तो कम टू अ डॉक्टर व्हेन यू नो यू वांट टू लीड अ हेल्दी लाइफ। वो आपको लाइफस्टाइल समझा देगी, वो मेंटेन करो जो चीज़ें आपके हाथ में होती है। दूसरे सो इट्स नॉट कि आप फिर डिजीज़ फ्री हो जाते हो। डिजीज़ होने का या कोई भी कंडीशन होने की काफ़ी फैक्टर्स होते हैं, ठीक है? तो जो फैक्टर्स अपने हाथ में है हम वो कम कर लेंगे। जो फैक्टर्स हमारे हाथ में नहीं है, जैसे जेनेटिक्स हो जाता है, तो वो उसका काम करेगा पर एटलीस्ट उसका असर आप पे नहीं होगा, ठीक है? ये होता है एक पार्ट। तो पहले ही आ जाओ, बहुत अच्छी बात है, ठीक है? अभी हमें हो गया कोई कंडीशन और हमें डॉक्टर के पास जाना पड़ रहा है, डायबिटीज़, तभी भी आप पहले डाइटिशियंस के पास आ जाओ। बिकॉज यहाँ पर आप कुछ खा रहे हो, यहाँ पर आपका शुगर बढ़ रहा है, यहाँ पे डाइटिशियन ने डाइट ठीक कर दिया है, आपका शुगर मेंटेन्ड है, ठीक है? बट दैट डज नॉट मीन दैट यू शुड नॉट गो टू द डॉक्टर। इट्स ऑलवेज द डाइटिशियन एंड द डॉक्टर टुगेदर, ठीक है? दूसरा, यहाँ पर आपने सब चेंजेस किए, यहाँ पर आपकी शुगर्स कम हो जाती है, यहाँ दवाइयाँ कम हो जाती है, कॉम्प्लिकेशंस कम हो जाते हैं, आपकी तुरंत जो सिम्टम्स होते हैं, बहुत ज़्यादा यूरिन आ रहा है, बहुत ज़्यादा ड्राइनेस लग रहा है माउथ में, या बहुत ज़्यादा स्वेटिंग हो रही, ये सब कम हो जाता है तुरंत ही। और फिर उसे मेंटेन करो तो डायबिटीज़ का भी असर जो होता है बॉडी में वो एटलीस्ट आधे से ज़्यादा कम हो जाता है, ठीक है? और ये एक ग्रेजुअल प्रोसेस है, तो एज के साथ थोड़ा थोड़ा ख़राब होते जाएगा, पर वो उतना नहीं होगा जितना आपने पहले ध्यान रख लिया है। उसके लिए आपके जो आप सुनते हो जब सिवियर केसेस होते हैं, किडनी पर असर आ जाता है, पैरों पे असर आ जाता है, वो सब कम हो जाता है। वो मेजरली प्रिवेंट ही कर रहे हो आप, ऐसे सोच लो। सो यू शुड विजिट अ डाइटिशियन द मोमेंट यू कम टू नो। एट द सेम टाइम गो टू द डायबिटोलॉजिस्ट, और हर 15 से 20 दिनों में फॉर एटलीस्ट 3 months आपकी डाइटिशियन से फॉलो करो। व्हेन यू गेट योर नेक्स्ट रिपोर्ट्स एज पर द डॉक्टर्स सेइंग, फिर आप हर महीने 2 महीने में आपके हिसाब से जाओ टू द डाइटिशियन।
So in an Indian family, does the dietitian take over the homemaker's mind and controlling the kitchen?
Well, she should do that. I would rather say that. I don't know how much can we do that, but अगर कर पाती है तो उससे अच्छा कुछ नहीं होता है। I'll tell you why. Homemaker is always the pillar and the strength of the house. घर का कोई भी मेंबर कैसा रहेगा health wise,
I would just make a disclaimer.
Yes.
The homemaker can also be a man. It is not necessary homemaker is the housewife.
Yes. No, not at all. It's always whoever is the homemaker or the decision maker of the house will make decisions for the family, and उनके decision पे ना काफ़ी लोगों की family members की life depend करती है। And if she is wise enough to take a call and make sure कि at least हम एक बार dietitian के पास जाके एक healthy lifestyle कैसे जीनी है वो समझ ले, food wise specifically। आप जाते एक जन हो लेकिन पूरा परिवार उससे बेनिफिट करता है, राइट? बिकॉज हियर यू मेकिंग द फूड इन द मैनर इट्स बीन गाइडेड, यू गिविंग देम द टिफिन्स द वे इट्स बीन गिवन, या आप रात को उस तरीके से खाना खा रहे हो, या रात को सब मेडिटेट कर रहे हैं, सॉन्ग सुन रहे हैं, टीवी देख रहे हैं लेकिन चिल कर रहे हैं। ये चीज़ें भी डाइटिशियन बताती है आपको करने हैं, ठीक है? इट्स नॉट ऑलवेज दैट इट्स ओनली द फूड, और वी विल स्टॉप यू फ्रॉम डूइंग the moment the lifestyle comes in, आपका स्ट्रेस कम हो रहा है, बॉडी पे स्ट्रेस कम हो रहा है, पैरामीटर्स ठीक है, योर एंटायर फैमिली इज एट अ प्लेस वेर यू डोंट हैव टू वरी अबाउट समथिंग दैट कम्स इन अर्ली, जो लेटर लाइफ में आने वाली है वो पहले आ गई। सपोजिंगली डिजीज कंडीशन हम बहुत तरीके से प्रिवेंट कर पाते हैं इस चीज़ से। सो एवरीबडी इज हेल्दी इन द हाउस, एवरीबडी इज विद अ हेल्दी माइंड सेट इन द हाउस, it's benefiting everybody. So yes, I feel the dietitians should hijack the brains of the homemakers. At least so many of them will be actually benefiting from that. So I wish ये हम कर पाए, अगर कभी कोई रास्ता मिल जाता तो we'll do it.
देर आर इंडियन हाउस होल्ड्स इन विच वो कहते हैं कि खाना खाने के बाद शतपावली करनी चाहिए, चलना चाहिए.
yes, yes.
एंड देर आर अदर हाउस होल्ड्स विच से कि खाना खाने के बाद थोड़ा रिलैक्स होना चाहिए, आफ्टरनून नैप लेना चाहिए. दीज टू आर एक्सट्रीमली ऑपोजिट एंड्स आफ्टर अ मील.
Yes.
सो व्हाट इज रिकमेंडेड?
सो ऑफ कोर्स अगेन, जो आई डोंट थिंक पहले कभी कोई बोलता था कि खाने के बाद सो जाओ. पहले यही होता था कि शतपावली हैज टू बी डन. इसका मतलब ये है कि आप 100 कदम चल लो खाने के बाद, ठीक है. अब साइंस इससे बहुत स्ट्रांगली अग्री करता है. भले उनको पहले पता था, हमने अभी रिसर्च की होगी और फिर पता चला, बट वी डू अग्री टू इट वेरी स्ट्रांगली बिकॉज वो आपके डाइजेशन में हेल्प करता है. आपको काफ़ी हद तक फूड डाइजेशन में हेल्प करते, सॉरी फूड मैं आई विल से इट अगेन. शतपावली मीन्स 100 कदम खाने के बाद चलना, ठीक है. तो और साइंस इज वेरी स्ट्रांगली अग्रीइंग टू इट. भले वो लोग पहले बोलते थे, लेकिन अभी रिसर्च होने के बाद हमने बस कंफर्म की है ये चीज़, ठीक है. सो आइडियली वॉकिंग विल ऑल्सो मेक श्योर कि आपका पोस्ट मील स्पाइक्स कम हो जाए, डाइजेशन सही से हो जाए, विच मीन्स कि आप एटलीस्ट आपका खाना सही से पचा रहे हो. ऑन द कॉन्ट्राडिक्टरी, ऑन द अदर हैंड, आप अगर नैप लेने चले जाते हो, विच मीन्स योर बॉडी इज इन अ सुपाइन पोजिशन, ठीक है, लेट रहे, तो आपका बॉडी जो है वो डाइजेस्ट करने नहीं रखेगा आपका खाना. इट विल स्टार्ट रिलैक्सिंग, विच इज़ वेयर आपको इंडाइजेशन होगा, एसिड रिफ्लक्स होगा, एसिडिटी की प्रॉब्लम मेजरली ऑन द मिल जाती है, मतलब हो जाती है. सो इट्स ऑलवेज रिकमेंडेड कि आप खाने के बाद चलो 10 से 15 मिनट. उसका मतलब ये नहीं है आप भागना दौड़ना एक्सरसाइज करना शुरू करोगे, ये नहीं है. सिर्फ लाइट वॉक इज़ व्हाट इज़ रिक्वायर्ड. और आपको सोना है तो 1 से 2 घंटे खाने के बाद सो जाओ. सो दैट इज़ ओके, बट नॉट इमीडिएटली आफ्टर द मील्स.
नाउ इन द इंडियन सेटअप, जब हम खाना खाते, भरपेट खाना खाया तो डकार दे दिया. while in the European households it is thought to be a bad thing to have a dakar. So is the dakar a good thing or is it a sign of a disease?
No, the burping is a very natural process. There's no disease associated with it. वरना तो babies हम पहले से बोल देते बेचारे को कुछ हो गया. The burping is always a sign where, so when you eating, जो हवा होती है वो थोड़ी सी अंदर जाती है, ठीक है. आप खाना खाते हो तो आफ्टर दैट इट स्टार्ट्स कमिंग आउट वंस द स्टमक स्टार्ट्स फिलिंग इन, एंड दैट इज व्हाई यू स्टार्ट बर्पिंग. एंड दैट इज व्हाई वी डू इट फॉर द बेबीज ऑल्सो, कि एटलीस्ट यू नो कि बेबीज का खाना पेट में पहुंच गया है. एंड देन यू बर्प, मेक श्योर कि आप उनको बर्प करवा रहे हो एंड देन आप उनको लेटाते हो. क्यों? सो दैट देयर इज नो रिफ्लक्स ऑफ द फूड. उनका तो लिक्विड होता है तो उनके लिए तो बहुत ईजी हो जाता है. सो बर्पिंग इज़ वेरी वेरी नॉर्मल एंड नेचुरल. इनफैक्ट इट्स अ साइन कि आपका खाना एटलीस्ट स्टमक में पहुंच रहा है, सही से डाइजेस्ट होगा. एंड इट्स नॉट सपोज टू it's not supposed to be looked as a disease condition or anything as such, no.
So the European diet and the Indian diet, I'm not going into the wars between North and South India diet wise, but the European
continent wise
the continental diet and the Indian diet,
yes.
What is the difference which you see? How the Europeans are usually much more slimmer and healthier muscle wise compared to our Indians.
Well, two things here. If we were eating traditionally as per our
regional
cuisines, at the same time had the same physical activity, तो तभी कोई इतना तोंद वाला नहीं था. There was no, because we used to work equally hard, and the way our traditional foods were designed very traditionally, it was not leading to more fat accumulation in the body, because it was using it up, plus the combination of the foods which were there olden days were in the manner where it is more beneficial to you. Now we have the availability of all the regions food at one time. You can eat idli, dosa and paratha at the same time, right? So एक तो बॉडी वो ले नहीं पाती है तुरंत, सो इट्स अ लॉट ऑफ कंजम्पशन ऑफ कार्ब्स, प्रोटीन्स, फैट एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. व्हाट द यूरोपियंस और द कॉन्टी डाइट डज इट्स मेकिंग इट सिंप्लीफाइड. उनका staple is mashed potato, which is a carb. Otherwise, just giving an example, mashed potato, which is a carb, or a bread, or a bun, or a slice of sourdough, whatever they take in. Then comes in the meat. So they'll take the chicken, fish, turkey, salamis, but any sort of meat in their diet, which is giving them a lot of protein. Which on the other hand, Indians are using a lot of dals, but no, India is majorly a vegetarian, non-vegetarian country. So the number of vegetarians in India is also more. और यहाँ पर चिकन फिश खाने का सवाल है ही नहीं. So then they don't get enough protein, and not everybody is open to supplements. So there we lack protein. Here they make sure that they're eating good protein, and then the half of the plate or most of the plate is vegetables, which is simply just stir fried. हम सब्जियां बनाते हैं, हम सब रेसिपीज बनाएंगे, इनके लिए इट्स वेरी सिंपल. दे डोंट हैव टू मेनी स्पाइसेस, इट्स वेरी सिंप्लीफाइड. व्हेन यू लुक एट द फूड यू नो व्हाट्स गोइंग ऑन. व्हेन वी लुक एट द इंडियन फूड, आपको आपकी मम्मी ने छोले पाव भाजी में खिला देंगे, आपको नहीं पता होगा, बिकॉज इट्स द कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ सो मेनी फूड्स, यू डोंट रियलाइज इट. Here on the other hand, you know this is my protein, this is my carb, this is my fiber, and that is what I've got to eat. So that is how even when they're taking breads every day, they still be leaner because of the portion sizes and the components in their protein, fat and carbs. They're more sorted and they're more simple, so they know this is what they have to eat. If they also come in India, they'll put on. So it's not that they can't. But yeah, majorly it's the composition of the food, or how we've been making the food. तभी सही था, अब नहीं है. तो वो वेरिएशंस हमें भी लाना है, हमें भी सिंप्लीफाई करना है हमारे खाने को, कि एटलीस्ट हमें पता हो देख के कि क्या खाने में क्या आ रहा है. और वहाँ पे उनको पता है कि ये ही है हमारा खाना, इतना ही है, वही खा के खत्म करते हैं. सो देन दे मोर लीनर.
So the chapati is called as a flat bread.
Yes.
Actually, is it a bread?
Well, if you want to say it for them, it's a bread. So no, ideally it's a bread only. I'll tell you how. ये bread जो है, it's been baked, but it's made with wheat flour only, not the maida ones. We'll talk about the wheat flour ones. So you have multigrain breads, you have wheat flour breads, and the same wheat is being used for chapati in the flatter form. So ideally they are breads only. If you also want to eat a bread, I will give you a bread. But will you eat it as a chapati? जैसे आप चपाती के साथ इतनी सब्जी और दाल ले रहे हो, with a one slice of bread you can just eat it all by yourself. So will you be eating it that much only sabzi and dal with that bread? No. But वही bread को if I flatten like that much of atta only, if I flatten and make roti, the carbs that I'm eating is limited only, but I've still eaten more fiber and protein along with it. So that's the only difference. Because of the shape, size and texture that the bread gives in, we say no to it, because we Indians will not eat it in the manner they eat it. वो लोग एक slice of bread लेते हैं, and the same time they have their meat fiber also along with it. They don't eat it the way we eat it. So then that's a bigger difference. But yes, roti is a flat bread only. But if I know somebody who has to rush to the office, सुबह का टाइम नहीं है खाना बनाने का, I will give them a size of bread or a two, ask them to toast it, take their eggs along with it, and some sabzis of the grilling it or sauteing it or guacamole along with it, and have it. तो वो जिसको मैं रोटी दे रही हूँ सुबह को या पराठे दे रही हूँ खाने में, मैं उसको ये दूंगी. इट्स द बॉडी विल नॉट बी डिफरेंशिएटिंग मेजर स्पाइक्स इन द ब्लड ग्लूकोज लेवल्स एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. So it's actually a bread, सब एक ही चीज़ से बना है. It's just the recipes keep changing, and then how are we eating food along with it is changing.
Okay.
Yes.
We are talking about the best diets being the Mediterranean diets and the Dash diet and the Japanese diet.
Yes.
So then the Indian diet is nowhere in the healthiest diet according to this list.
Yes.
But then if there is a health conscious person who asks you about the options of a Mediterranean diet, Dash diet and a Japanese diet, which one would you recommend? Like to dump the Indian diet and eat one of these three, which one?
I would recommend a DASH diet. A DASH diet or a Japanese diet, but Japanese diet is not very recommended in an Indian scenario, because then that will include a lot of meat. DASH diet, on the other hand, includes a lot of fruits, vegetables, no salt. So then majorly your fluid retention, yeah, more of sodium in the food is cut down there. So DASH diet is basically where you don't take a lot of salt, you use more salt adjacents, and you use a lot of potassium rich foods or foods that are high in fiber. So DASH diet for Indian scenario is a healthier form of diet and the much preferred diet when it's compared to Mediterranean or Japanese diet, just because of the involvement of the meat. That is it. So for Indians, DASH diet is a go-go thing, and also it's a more balanced diet than the other two. So the Japanese diet is also very balanced, but there again it's a lot of meat. So then we can't really recommend it in India. That is.
So when the person is continuing an Indian diet, घर का ही खाना इंडिया में खा रहे हैं एंड उनको उसमें एडजस्टमेंट्स करने हैं, तो डू यू चेक द वेट ऑफ द चपाती एंड द साइज ऑफ द कटोरी?
Yes. So this again is a very big discussion that's going on when we meet patients for the first time. Understand how and what utensils are their household using. Okay, so what we usually do is keep measuring cups हमारे पास, और वही measuring, so if you have 50 ml, 150 ml, 200, 250 ml का bowls, उसका साइज का जो भी कटोरी होता है, we keep that also with us. And then ask the patient, आपके घर में इसमें से कौन सी कटोरी है और इसमें से आपके घर पे किसको कटोरा बोलते हो आप, ठीक है? So I understand the कटोरी and कटोरा of the house, and that is how then we prescribe them the food. Coming to the roti again, it keeps varying from north, south, east, west. It varies. Gujaratis have their pulkas, and Maharashtrians will have the big chapatis, which is equivalent to 3 fulkas of a Gujarati. So then what we'll do is, I'll ask them what is the size of your dough. आप जब गोला बनाते हो तो उसका साइज क्या है, नींबू जितना है, संतरे जैसा है, या मौसम्बी जैसा है? So small, big, or the biggest. So then we somewhere get in an अंदाजा of okay, अगर नींबू जितना है इनका डो का साइज, तो वो गुजराती फुल्का बन रहा है जो 10 ग्राम ऑफ वीट के आटे के आसपास है. सो दिस ऑल वी स्टैंडर्डाइज पहले ओनली. वी नो कि ये इतना दिखता है तो ये 10 ग्राम के आसपास होगा. दैट्स
सो दे डोंट नीड टू ब्रिंग द फूड प्लेट टू यू?
No, so what, that was a tedious thing to do for them earlier. Now what we started doing is keep cutouts only of the size and then send pictures, and if we can't, then we'll have to ask them, please एक दिन खाना हमारे साथ खा लो. फिर मेरा ध्यान मेरे खाने से ज्यादा उनके खाने में होगा.
Yes, I agree.
But then this is all that you can do.
So, Indian person who is been referred for a diet to you, usually how much time do you take in the first consultation?
The first consultation usually ranges from 40-45 minutes to an hour, and even more अगर आपने उनको ऐसे अच्छा खासा खाना पीना साथ में दे दिया हो तो, unless they don't want to leave this thing room and go. But yes, I'll tell you why. When they come in for the first time, first we just assess them physically. What is their weight, height, circumferences, done. Then we start talking to them about their dietary recalls. 3 दिन में क्या खाना बन रहा है, to understand what is and how, what sort of cuisine are they eating, how much is their appetite. Okay, then understand their lifestyle. Sedentary hair, then understand the psychological factors also, if any affecting, what is stress for them, are they actually stressing because of some other external sources, are they sleeping well, are they exercising, do they have time to exercise. So we'll actually like understand the entire life story of the patient, and if the patient feels very comfortable, they'll tell you how did their chachas take the zameen from their papa also.
So become psychoanalyst.
Yes. So then that is why we take a lot of time, and then we start planning it for them as per their needs and not making major changes. Then they'll not stick to the diet. So then it is such a deep conversation that happens between the patient and the dietitian, that it at least takes you 45 to 60 minutes at the first consultation. Yeah.
एक वीडियो घूम रहा है आजकल जिसमें शाहिद कपूर की वो कामवाली बाई है एंड वो टोफू बनाती है एंड शाहिद कपूर शाउट्स ऑन हर, ये इतना तेल इसमें तो मैं स्विम कर सकता हूँ. तो अकॉर्डिंग टू मी एन इंडियन आई डिडंट थिंक इट वाज दैट मच ऑफ ऑयल. व्हाट इज योर व्यूज ऑन दैट मच ऑफ ऑयल इन दैट टोफू?
No, I think sometimes people do overreact, or they have been restricting themselves too much because of the profession as well. इतना अपने आप पर जुल्म मत करो is what I will say. If you think, of course, if it's a daily thing, then you mind it and you monitor it. Safest option now here are the new ways of using oils. Either you use the silicone brushes when you dip it in the oil and use it, or you have those oil sprays. So you use that, so then you know it's very well controlled and monitored. So then वो ड्रामा की जरूरत नहीं है आपको.
हाँ, तो झगड़ा between the कामवाली बाई and शाहिद कपूर was
Yes.
something which is coming again and again in WhatsApp also.
Yes, no. So then I think I should advise him to use other alternatives to resolve the fight.
Of course, he gives some money to the Kamwali Bai to take culinary lessons and everything, but then I think that is
I think he
stretching
did
it too
not
far.
allow. I think here also the homemaker could be the house help who was helping him for the kitchen, right? I think he should have sent her not to the culinary school but to a dietitian, or take her along with the diet when his consultations are there, because she is the one who's going to prepare the food for him.
Yeah.
So then it could like help him have better guidance and avoid the fight.
So as a dietitian person, which doctor is the one who prefers the maximum percentage of patients to you? A physician, a diabetologist, or a routine healthcare related person?
So now the awareness has become that way, that the corporates are also encouraging dietitians, but that's like 25% of them. The doctors or the healthcare professionals, majorly I see the diabetologists coming in, the general physicians are also coming in, the cardiologists are also coming in, and also the nephrologists, because these diets are very very directly proportional to the food that they're eating and the condition the patient is going through. And ये सबका combination भी होता है, क्योंकि a patient has everything, no? It will have a heart also, it is having a kidney also, and it is having the blood also.
Multiple problems.
Yes. So
Just like multiple types of tablets, you have to
Yes.
adjust all the types of the
Yes.
problems.
And that time either we have to restrict a lot of food, which is a sad part, but then that also, so then the intervention of the diet is so strict here, then there we have to become Hitlers.
Yeah.
And that is why, so only when they have conditions like this, they come to us and then they'll be like, they're Hitlers.
Yes.
So come beforehand, no, you'll know we're not Hitlers. We give you your food to eat. Yes.
So the person at home having a measuring tape,
Yes.
normal. So what should they measure
That's a
besides
very-
coming to a dietitian?
That's a very, very good question. And good that we'll be bursting one myth here as well. A, stop using the weighing scale all day. Okay, weighing scale will give you the weight. But then you don't know what sort of weight you've lost. That could be your bone weight, could be your fats, could be your muscles that you're losing, so or water weight. So you don't know that what weight you've lost, but because the kgs show down, you're happy. But at the same time, if you have a measuring tape, very simple, you start measuring your waist, your waist circumferences and hip circumferences, and take out waist hip ratio out of it. Okay, that is giving you an indicator of fat loss and visceral fat reduction. Visceral fat is basically the fat that's around the abdomen, which is the dangerous form of fats, than the adipose fats. Why is it dangerous? Because it's near your organs. It is very easily affecting your heart, your kidneys and your liver, but majorly your heart here. Okay, so A, waist hip ratio, you measure your waist, you measure your hips, and then take the ratio out. Very easily done through the internet also. You just Google everything. You just enter your values and it will give you a waist hip ratio here.
So the waist is at the umbilicus.
Yes,
And the hip is at the belt.
Yes, at the belt, the widest part of your lower body, your bottoms. So then that is where
The
you
widest part.
widest. And so in the easiest term you could say is the narrowest part could be your waist, which is above the umbilical, and the widest part of your hips are your hip ratio. So that is how then you measure it and put down the values, and then you can get the waist hip ratio. And the improvement in that, or the reduction in the inches or centimeters also of your measuring tape, will help you understand that you're actually losing fats here, and then you'll be happy as a
And then take the peda box to the dietitian.
yes, and then, and then make the dietitian fat. Kidding.
So, madam, the food is nutrition, but there is something which is not a nutrition but so important. Patients with constipation, they are told about bran biscuits.
Yes.
So, something which is anti-nutrition.
Yes,
So, can
yes,
you just tell
yes.
about that?
So, okay, here I would like to cover two topics. One, the fads around the food and the way marketing gimmicks play a role. And second, how we can reveal constipation in a natural manner, okay? So, how are they, the bran biscuit, for an example, playing around is, bran is a fiber, ideally. But when you see the biscuits label, you just turn around and read the label. Very, very important to start reading the labels henceforth. They give you the nutrition label for, mostly they'll put in a label for 100 grams of ingredients, and then they put in the bran as a ingredient and how many grams of bran has been added. Maximum bran that they might have added to these sort of commercialized products for most of the times are nearly 10 to 15 grams for 100 grams of that particular cookie. Now, you will not be eating 100 grams of biscuit. The serving size is 2 biscuits, that could be around 30 grams, 50 grams maximum. And then you do the calculation, do you realize how much bran are we actually getting? But just that because they've added bran to it, they advertise it as bran added to it. At the same time, when you see that, you check the ingredient list. Where does bran stand in the nutrition label in a bran biscuit? If it's the first ingredient, I understand, okay, it's a bran rich biscuit, because the first ingredient used in the ingredient list is going to be the maximum used ingredient following the descending order. If I see bran written as the last, second last, third last ingredient in the ingredient list, I will not even think of taking that biscuit, because it has hardly any bran going in it. So the moment you start understanding and realizing that the ingredients and the way the list has been made, the ingredient list has been made, you will understand that these products are just an advertising gimmick here.
So,
That
just
in
like
fact-
a mango tolly, the mango
Yes.
is just a thin sliver,
But
flavor,
ideally,
and there's no mango in it.
yeah, exactly. So then, this is not what we want. The nation needs to start reading the ingredient list and understanding what is actually right and what is actually wrong, and be aware about it. Now, why bran biscuits are given for the constipation? Because bran is a fiber. When you have constipated, you need more fiber and water along with it. So they start you with the fiber supplement, but if you don't take enough water, you will end up into severe constipation more. So if you want to reveal constipation, you make sure that the fluid intake along with the fiber is being managed properly for better bowel movement. Otherwise, that will give you more discomfort. So to avoid all of that, bran biscuits is not helping you out. Second, either get in fiber through whole grains, pulses, fruits and vegetables, or get supplements that are medically being made and not commercially made, and then that to be added as per the directions given by the dietitian along with the fluid intake, to make sure that there are no severe or adverse effects of extra fiber also in the diet, because nothing in excess is helping you. Moderation is always going to be the key.
So, you told about food labels. So, the short form of that is fasai. So, just as a light-hearted,
Yes.
just fasai fasauju.
So फसाई is not फसावाएंगे. It is making sure that आपको कोई फंसा ना सके.
Okay, it's the other way around. It's anti-fasai.
Yes. If there's an FSSAI label, at least you are getting one confirmation that the product is not hazardous to your health. when consumed as per the directions given on the food label. If the serving size of a 10 cookie packet tells you that the serving size is only 2 cookies, we will have the need to make sure that we stick to 2 cookies.
Okay.
Okay, and the rest would be given around to the family. So sharing is caring is also happening here.
Okay.
But the moment you turn selfish and you eat the entire cookie packet, that is where the hazardous effect of these ingredients come in. Also shouldn't be taken regularly. Anything from the packets then. Anything from the packet are either high in sodium, sugars or oils, because they all also act as a natural additive. So if the packet says it's has no additives or preservatives in it, but it's still having a longer shelf life and it's perishable, then make sure you check the ingredient list. It can be high in sodium or sugars because they act as a natural preservative as well. So then so FSSAI आपको बोल रहा है कि इन्होंने जो क्लेम किया है वो सही है, वो आपको फंसाने से बचा रहा है, लेकिन आप फंसते तब हो जब आप FSSAI की नहीं सुनते हो. So let's listen to फसाई so that आपको कोई फंसा ना सके.
Yes, I think that's a very good slogan.
Yes. Yes.
So, like, does the government of India have the consultation with dietitians and nutritionists when they are writing on the bread RDA, vitamin D added, etc., etc.? This must have been done sometime.
Yes, I think this might have been done. So you have NIN, you have RD, that is where RDA comes from. So when they're actually going forward for this, the government is actually involved in it. In fact, I had there was a food mela at one of the colleges in Mumbai, which is where the FSSAI president had also come in and made sure he was a part of it. So yes, they do involve dietitians and the students along with it, but I'm not very sure actually. ये तो of this thing, I'm not very sure कि how much are they actually getting in dietitian. Maybe the very seniors would be there, but not really otherwise. Now, in fact, now the government of India is making an initiative to send dietitians to the Anganwadis to prevent malnutrition.
Okay.
So this is a very good initiative by the government. Plus, the government has now started getting National Nutrition Month as a program for all the dietitians to spread awareness on various topics. Like last year, we were talking about millets. Now there are topics, very interesting topics this year, where reduction of oil, sugar, and oil, sugar, and salt in excess is supposed to be addressed. Early childhood feeding supposed to be addressed. Mainstreaming is again a very interesting topic, which is where awareness of diet and food within the men's community has to also be done, because this is where they see a loophole and they want that to be filled in.
So everybody takes care of the pregnant mothers, but nobody thinks about the men.
Yes. Or
is it really happening that way?
Is it? Yeah, that could be somewhere that will even see. Otherwise, also no, we Indians are not looking after our health very from the diet's point of view. Not everybody does it. But when a lady is pregnant, that time the effort and the attention that's being paid has to be given throughout the life as well. And men's again, because they're working, most of them. Smoking alcoholism is also is also playing a part here. You know, you keep stress smoking, and the life is very sedentary. Not everybody is paying attention to their health. So that awareness, creating that awareness that you have to be healthy for the family as well, is now supposed to be created, because I think it's just said that the housewife don't look after their health so much and looks after the family, but it's at the same time for the men as well that they're not looking after themselves but the families also. So that importance given to men's health is also very, very important these days. And one more very good initiative that the government has come up with is Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam. So you plant or adopt a sapling or a tree and you look after it, and that's because you dedicate it to your mothers.
Okay.
So you are spreading awareness about greens and environment, at the same time getting in an initiative which is saving the planet as well.
So maybe government of India is looking
Is
for
now-
a WHO
yes.
Thing actually. This is
Now
falling
they have
into so many
started,
things,
yes.
carbon footprint and
Yes.
the greens and the
The
nutrition.
millets were forgotten, and India had so many millets. So last year they were all practicing spreading awareness about millets. And now when you see that if a patient has come in, met a dietitian and come in their prescription, that prescription will have some or the other millet in the.
Okay. So even dietitians required awareness?
No. Well, again, yes, that sometimes
Or
happening.
refreshing of the knowledge.
Refreshing of the knowledge, yes. And what happens is, if somebody is not eating it only, introducing a new food grain is also very new to them. But when they see people are doing it around, people are more open to doing that as well.
Means what I remember is whenever you become a diabetic, then only you will go for nachni bhakri.
Yes.
Otherwise, a healthy person will
Correct.
not eat.
Again, नाचनी भाकरी in fact has more glycemic index. तो ये पहले बोलते थे कि हाँ नाचनी की भाकरी ले लो डायबिटीज है, but we say no to नाचनी भाकरीज, but जवारी, बाजरा या कोडू millet, little millets are better sources. Now what happens is, हर चीज अगर ज्यादा करते हो तो now people have started using only millets and stopped using your regular grains like wheat and rice, which is again not okay. So a balance is supposed to be created from both the sides, and the awareness, the right information has to be put out. Because again, सिर्फ बोला तो डायबिटीज है, नाचनी खा के काफी लोगों ने और शुगर बढ़ा दिया. Again, 2 reasons. गेहूं की रोटी पतली बन सकती है. So the amount of grams of atta that you've been using in the गेहूं की रोटी, one गेहूं रोटी same size, is very patli. And then you compare the same size of roti in a ragi, because it has no gluten or the elasticity is not that much, it's a little thicker. So you're indirectly eating more carbs here as compared to the wheat roti. So even that comes into picture when we planning a diet. So that precision in giving you everything in that particular amount is done by the dietitian, and that really helps and makes a very big difference. Now when I told you this, you realize, oh yeah, that's true, that the jawari or the millet based bhakris are a little thicker. So then I'll give you 2 pulkas or 1 jawari bhakri, because the grams of atta is going to be similar in both of them, which is going to give you similar carbohydrates, proteins and fats. Just the fiber is a little more, here is a little less, or the glycemic index keeps changing. So wheat में थोड़ा कम glycemic index है as compared to ragi, और राइस में थोड़ा ज़्यादा ही है, but then jawari has lesser, so then you give them jawari rotis also, or a mix of dals, or a mix of dal and cereal for your atta. जैसे आप चना, yes, या फिर हम सत्तू की रोटी बनाते हैं नॉर्थ इंडिया में, या फिर ये जो cereal pulse combination है जो साउथ इंडिया में चलता है with dosas. So we can keep doing all of that, and that will give you a balance of all the amino acids. In fact, it's much healthier than you using multi-grains. So what I do is, I don't give multi-grains, I give them a cereal pulse based roti. So again, that is working very nice one, and that is low glycemic roti then, because it's preventing the sugar spike from the rotis here.
So when you go for a dinner with your cousins,
Yes.
a party or a simple dinner or anything, do they pull your leg? Should I eat this? Should I eat this?
Oh God, they're all interested in what does my plate consist
Okay.
of.
They are going to point out to
Yes.
you cannot eat this, you cannot eat this.
How can you eat this? This is what comes up, but at the same time they'll listen, they'll hide your plates also from you so that you don't say anything to them. So it is a chaos. It's fun, but it's also annoying sometimes. So it's like a roller coaster ride when I choose this profession, and then things happen. When your personal life is also more professionally trained, it's very different and very difficult to deal with sometimes. And fun also. So it's all the way around. It's spinning 360-degree, experiencing everything around. Yes.
There was one small short which I had seen, and in that person had explained about the difference between an ice cream and a dessert. There's something like an ice cream is pure milk and fruits.
Oh, and the
dessert
frozen,
is
yes,
frozen
yes,
dessert.
yes. So ideally, and ice cream and the frozen, you again read the ingredient labels.
I had seen one short on YouTube in which that person had explained about the difference between ice creams and frozen desserts.
Yes, so this is again, that is a very beautiful video and very helpful also, and also made sure that now people start reading the labels here again. When ordering something that's cold, that's creamy, you state it as ice cream, right? The moment now you're turning around and you read the ingredient labels, some of them had frozen hydrogenated fats written in it or cream, which is where it becomes a frozen dessert. When you see the ice cream, naturally ice creams were just milk, fruits, and some sweetness. That could be sugar as well, but at least it did not have heavy carbonated, hydrogenated fats in it. Okay, and then they started commercializing it. So commercialization, mein, this is more easier for them to get in. So then they started using hydrogenated fats and creams, which was not naturally produced, and they are all artificially made to give you that texture and the flavor, and also very high in sugar at the same time. Now, because the awareness is coming, people come up with better options of ice cream also. Now you have some brands which also adding protein powders and supplements to it and making it more healthier, making it with more sweeteners which are not harmful for the gut as well. So you have to just start reading the labels, making sure you know what you're ingesting, and then taking a call whether you have to purchase it or not, or have it or not, and keep yourself as a priority. And now you should know that this is not good for you. You cannot understand the labels. You can now have the option of scanning it and understanding it. Read the numbers that are there behind too, because they use the numbers to hide in what's written. So just be a little aware. Use your mobile phones in the right manner to understand what is written there when you don't know what it is. And Google is very good, or any other sites these days, are ChatGPT, AI. Everything is now helping you spread awareness also. So just one click away from understanding what is right and what is wrong for you. And select wisely, choose wisely, enjoy the same dessert, and have a happy life. Then no dietitian is going to stop you from eating your desserts as well.
Okay, so I'll thank Madam for the talk about the various aspects of nutrition, and being a registered dietitian, nutritionist, I would request her to continue her awareness campaign in the Nutrition Month by the Government of India. If you have any questions, you can write in the comments below, and Madam will be happy to answer it. And you can also directly contact her in Mumbai, Andheri and Ghatkopar area.
Thank you. It was lovely meeting you all, and thank you for having me here.